Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, having another movie review. I recently just watched this film. It's been recommended to me for a while. It's Gerald's Game, I think directed by Mac Flanagan, I think he said his last name. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That may not be his name. I don't know. But anyway, it's a great flick. From 1 to 4, I'd give it 4 stars. Great flick. I do have to say it is a bit overrated. It's based off a Stephen King book. Haven't read the book. But just this movie, it was great. That's a 6.6 on IMDb, which is a little low considering all the praise it got. I think it should have at least a 7, just judging from the film itself. Stars Carla Gugino, I think that's her name, and Bruce Greenwood, I believe. Bruce Greenwood's in really good shape for an older man here. Anyway, it's about this couple. They're trying to fix their marriage. The husband wants to reignite their sex life, so he handcuffs her to the bed, and he starts getting real weird, trying to do a rape fantasy, real over the top kinky rape fantasy. She's not into it. She's freaking out, and pretty much he starts getting pissed off, and he has a heart attack and dies. So I really love these kinds of 127 hours type predicaments where the dude's arm is caught, and here she's handcuffed to the bed. She basically has to figure out how the hell to get out of here. And pretty much it's a character study. This is not a horror film. If you're going in for a horror film, you're going to be disappointed. This is a thriller character study. She's pretty much handcuffed to the bed, and we get to see inside of her mind and flashbacks about pretty much about why her marriage is so messed up and everything. We get to see her inner psyche, and it's represented by Bruce Greenwood and herself in 2 hallucinations that keep representing her inner voice, pretty much. And we see flashbacks, and her father is actually played by Henry Thomas, who is also in an episode of Nightmare and Dreamscapes, the end of the whole mess. Here he plays this girl's dad. He's the boy from E.T., and he's really creepy here. He plays pretty much a child molester. And you pretty much find out that the reason she was so freaked out by the rape fantasy or whatever is because her dad made her sit in his lap when she was little and was masturbating. It's really disgusting. This made me feel really uncomfortable watching this part in the movie. This movie's not really scary, but it has some real weird ass imagery every now and then. And this scene right here alone was so gross. It put me off way worse than any gore has ever done. That was disgusting. You don't actually see it, thank God, but you get close enough. And I kind of want to know more about that because she has brothers and sisters and everything. And I want to know, did he try it with the other kids? I mean, I don't know. I just felt like I need to know more there. I wanted to know more there, I don't know. But anyway, and you get the scene of him manipulating her into not saying anything, which was really bad because if he actually cared about his kid, he never would have done it. But even if he did do something like this, if he really cared about his kid, he would have turned himself in. He obviously doesn't give a shit. So that was disgusting. And of course, you get the idea the handcuffs are the metaphors for her being shackled down her whole life by these different people, different men, I guess, that have destroyed her life and put her under keeping secrets of her being molested and all that, which is really disgusting. And pretty much her husband is an asshole who wants to act out fantasies of. It pretty much goes with the idea that people, have a darker side of themselves. You never really know somebody, really, and pretty much the person who you think is going to protect you or be the nicest person is usually the worst monster and has the dark side. The husband wouldn't be turned on during sex unless he was acting out rape fantasy. So that's pretty telling. I mean, I know some people have kinky fantasies, and that's fine. But, this guy specifically would not get turned on unless he was doing a rape fantasy. So that's warning sign 101. But anyway, every single time they had sex. But yes, she has to figure out a way to get out of there. And you see this creepy imagery of this dude who's just keeps walking around. There's this annoying dog, and they keep showing up and eating the husband's corpse, which was kind of funny at first. But you keep wondering, is it going to attack her and everything. Good suspense here. And eventually she breaks a glass and cuts her arm bad enough. And this really was painful looking because the way she slits it, she puts the glass inside this board that's next to her hand, and she runs her hand straight through it. Ugh, that kind of had me. She manages to get her hand out of the handcuffs, and then gets herself out of there, gets the key, and she drives and crashes. Before she leaves, though, this really weird looking dude is standing there, and she gives him her wedding ring because he's got a bag of trinkets. You find out later he was actually a serial killer. She thinks that he's kind of like a hallucination, but you find out later that he was actually real. And pretty much after that, she opens up like a crisis center after she gets out of there to help abused men and women, which is really cool. You can kind of see this as a feminist movie, but the movie never feels like it's like beating you in the face with it. It does have like a feminist message, but it's a message for all people as well. It works on both levels. It doesn't just have to be a feminist thing. The way the movie plays it is really expertly done towards, you can see it as a feminist message if you're wanting to, but at the same time the movie plays it more as like a universal message of empowerment to abuse victims. And pretty much she wants to come out, she keeps having flashbacks of this eclipse of when her father molested her when it was getting dark. And she wants to, it's kind of like a metaphor in the film of like her wanting to come out into the light and face her demons. Pretty much a metaphor, I guess, for abuse victims who haven't faced up to what happened to them. They keep it bottled inside, and it drives them crazy, or it gives them really bad depression. As someone from an abusive background, I really connected with this material, and I can see other people doing it as well. I do think this is an inspiring film for people who have suffered abuse. And pretty much it ends with her going to confront the serial killer guy, and he represents all the men who have, well, when she sees him, it actually shows like flashes of him being her husband and her father, of all the men who have given her trouble or tried to abuse her or hurt her. And she faces him and pretty much tells him, you look a lot smaller in person. And he kind of just like, smile fades off his face, and he's shocked, and they haul him away. Problems with the flick, it is a bit too long for the subject matter here of her just being chained up or handcuffed, whatever. It is a little bit too long. This could have been shorter. Other problems, the serial killer, like when they give like the background on him, it like shows the police like raiding his place, and apparently he like killed his sister and her husband and ate part of the dude's brains. Okay. That could be like a whole movie by itself. When I saw that, I was like, I want to see this dude's story. Give me a spinoff of this guy. But yeah, pretty much you find out he like goes and gets corpses. He doesn't actually kill people. He just takes corpses, male corpses, and cuts their ears off and their faces off, and like has sex with the bodies. So pretty much like a mentally handicapped version of Jeffrey Dahmer in a way. Interesting, but yeah, I want to see this dude's story. But yes, all the acting in this film is good. Carla Gugino, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I'll be honest. She does a great job. This is the best performance I've ever seen her give. She carries the whole film. Bruce Greenwood also does a great job, but he is not on her. He's not on her level in the film. He's a great actor, but he doesn't get a chance to be on her level in the film in terms of character because she leads the film, obviously. But he does a great job as well. All the acting's fine. Nobody's bad here. And pretty much it ends triumphantly with her walking off after facing her demons, bringing them out into the light, metaphorically, letting them out, unbottling them. And yeah, really empowering film for abuse victims. I really enjoyed that part. Yeah, all in all, 4 stars. Great film. I don't think it's a masterpiece. Some people think this flick's a masterpiece, and that's cool if you feel that way. Personally, I don't. I think it is a little bit too long, and some of the like metaphors for stuff are a little like in your face obvious. They try to explain it like, oh, the handcuffs represent the shackles. I mean, it's like, okay, you don't have to like say it. But yes, other than that, this is a great flick. This is one of the best Stephen King adaptations. Some people said this is almost as good as like the Frank Darabont flicks, or on the same level. I don't agree with that. I do think, however, it's almost as good as The Mist. It's like right there, like neck and neck with Frank Darabont's The Mist. I'm not sure which one is better. I'd have to rewatch The Mist again. It's like right neck and neck with it. I'd say The Mist probably edges it out just a little bit because of the more impactful, just crazy, depressing ending of The Mist. But this is right there. This is really close. This is one of the best Stephen King adaptations. It is. This would be in the top 10. So I'll see you guys again on the next review.